Did you know that you can influence how your genes express themselves with the help of your diet and lifestyle? Hi, I'm Kirsty, a nutritional therapist at the Optimum Health Clinic, and in this video, I'll show you how powerful nutrients are in shaping your epigenetics and why it actually matters with regards to your overall health. Firstly then, what does epigenetics mean? Well, simply put, epigenetics studies how certain factors like your diet, lifestyle, environment, or even your stress levels can turn our genes on or off. And this epigenetic change can play a pivotal role in our overall health and risk of disease. If you want to take a deeper dive into the topic of epigenetics with Jess, click the card here. So, assuming that our genes don't come conveniently equipped with an on-off switch, how do we actually go about doing this? Now, here is where I'm going to introduce the term methylation. Methylation is a key mechanism that directly controls exactly that, how we turn our genes on and off. And so in the wider context, methylation actually influences a number of really important functions in the body, including how we remove toxins from the body, how we actually develop our immune cells and our central nervous system, how we clear histamine from the body, and that can be really important for those with allergenic tendencies. Also how we balance estrogen and even how we make energy in the body. So the reason you may have heard the term methylation before is because it turns out to be central to how effectively we function as humans by activating substances and genes crucial to a whole host of metabolic processes. So overall, we want a well-balanced methylation capacity, not too slow, which is called hypomethylation, and not too fast, which is hypermethylation, because this change in methylation speed can negatively impact on our health. Right, so technical bit aside, the big question is, how much control do we have over our own methylation capacity? Here, I've listed a range of things that might negatively affect your methylation capacity. These are really useful to know if we want to flip the switch and have a positive impact on our health. So some of these key factors would include poor digestion or dysbiosis, poor sleep quality, high levels of stress, maybe various toxic exposures from our job or from our hobbies, oxidative stress, which might come from vaping, smoking, or intensive exercise, and finally nutrient deficiencies from a limited diet or poor digestion or lack of appetite perhaps. Do comment below if these are things that you relate to. I would guess that at least some of them will apply to most of us, such as the nature of modern life and its pressures. So knowing these factors that influence methylation is really helpful, because if we understand their impact, then we might feel more empowered to take positive action to safeguard our future health outcomes. But for the purposes of this video, I really want to explore specifically how our diet and nutrient balance are key to methylation. So studies tell us that various nutrients play a direct role in supporting our ability to methylate. B12 and folate, for example, are really well known here because they play a crucial role in our methylation capacity. The trouble is, in recent times, arguably, there's been an excessive emphasis on supplementing B12 and folate at high levels to improve methylation. And the logic here works on the assumption that if methylation is sluggish and there are deficiencies in B12 and folate, then by speeding up methylation and supplementing B12 and folate at high level will fix the problem, right? Well, it's not exactly necessarily the case, because we need to consider the potential downsides of driving our methylation like an F1 racing car. Let's explore this in more detail. While B12 and folate are exceptionally important to methylation, a laser focus on these two nutrients alone means that we ignore a host of other nutrients required for optimal methylation, of which there are many. Stay tuned to find out what these are and how we can actually incorporate them into our diet with relative ease. Optimal methylation does not necessarily mean driving methylation at the fastest pace possible. In fact, early studies suggest that hypermethylation might have a negative impact on things like our immune function and our blood glucose regulation, amongst other things, and this could be equally problematic. People differ in how they process B12 and folate supplements. To simplify here, there are various forms of B12 that are available to us in supplement form, and each form has a slightly different effect on the body. And there are some forms of B12 that need to be converted into active form by the body for them to be useful to us. Therefore, the type of B12 supplement that you take here is important, as is your ability to tolerate that chosen form. So for example, supplementing a methylated B12 supplement may be really helpful for some because it skips some of the conversion steps needed to make it into a useful form. But for others, methylated B12 can result in symptoms including increased anxiety, low mood, and brain fog. So we need to be really mindful about which form of supplementation we're using, why, what the level needed is, and how that might be tolerated. Lastly, there is simply not enough evidence yet to show us the long-term impact of pushing methylation at a fast pace, whether well-intended or not, but early studies might encourage us to really proceed with caution here. So what is the answer? Now that we understand the potential risks of encouraging hypermethylation, let's shift our focus to a more holistic approach, which involves a well-considered diet. Measured supplementation in the right form can be helpful, but our primary target is supporting methylation through a balanced diet, which includes a range of essential key nutrients and cofactors. So what do we need in the diet? This is the big question here. Now here is a list of key nutrients that support effective methylation and the foods that contain them. At first glance, you can see that we're going way beyond B12 and folate alone. And if you start to look more closely at the table, you'll notice a few key important things. There is a lot of overlap in the foods listed here in each of the nutrient groups, meaning that it is entirely possible to plan a practical, realistic, and accessible nutrition plan to support your health. You'll notice that you can add serious nutrient power to your diet via herbs, spices, nuts, and seeds. So just by adding these alone, you're well on your way to supporting your methylation. If you look at the B12 section on the table, you'll notice that if you are following a vegan or vegetarian diet, or you have a frank B12 deficiency, it is likely that some B12 supplementation in the right form will be required. Now that we've explored the key nutrients contributing to effective methylation, let's take a moment to understand how your nutritional therapist can offer you more support. Here at OHC, we will assess your current nutrient status via testing and then devise an individualized nutrition plan targeted at improving methylation by optimizing your nutrient balance. In the interests of completeness, alongside your nutrient status, there are other factors that we'll need to consider here for healthy methylation and genetic expression, and I've listed those here for your reference. But all of these elements are considered as we build and tailor your nutrition protocol. So, in summary, a personalised nutritional therapy plan tailored to provide essential nutrients and cofactors, combined with lifestyle tools for sleep, stress, digestion, and detoxification, has the potential to have a meaningfully positive impact on your gene expression. I would love to hear how this video resonates with you. Perhaps you've considered the impact of your diet and lifestyle on your own genetic expression. Or maybe you've already made some of the changes to support your own health. Do comment below and share your thoughts on this topic. And if you would like to test your own methylation capacity and receive some support around that from our practitioner team, we invite you to contact us at the clinic via our website.